Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. We are back on beautiful Hagenstedt. For those of you who are fans of Puma Plow, Hagenstarara. And I wanted to mess around a little bit more with pumps and hoses today. So I've got us set up with a brand new field here of, what do we have here? Corn. Guess it doesn't really matter. But yeah, no fertilizer on it as of yet. So the goal is, of course, to get this field fertilized. This is going to be a pretty casual gameplay, so I hope you don't mind. I will be using most likely power tools and easy dev controls to help us get along a little bit better. That being said, I did fill up our thing there. Yeah, you can tell already this is going to be one of those casual events because I've completely forgotten what the name of that little unit there is. Where's my, is it in extensions? Production? Yeah, the composter, right? Isn't it? No, it's not. It's a side, yeah. Solids dosage equip. Whoa, solids dosage equipment area. See, now I wouldn't have known that, right? Solids dosage equipment area. But yeah, that's what I've got down there. And I've been filling it up. Did fill it up, I should say, with all the necessary items. So we've got sugar beet cut, silage, manure, and slurry. And it has been producing digestate. Actually, now that I see that, I need to turn my methane back on. I only had one methane power plant running, and that was clearly not enough, so I added a second one. Actually, at first, I added this guy, and he was just a going to town, and so I needed to add a second power plant to keep up with all the methane that was coming out of here. Can you imagine the aroma that must be billowing out of these things? Unless they're highly filtered. I used to go by a dump site that was on the side of the highway that had methane burners. They were just like, I don't know, they were just pipes coming out of the ground, if I'm being honest, but nothing fancy from what I could see. But the smell of, what is that? Is that like rotten eggs, you know, from like a catalytic converter smell kind of thing? Not pretty. So, got some extra equipment. I did grab a tank. We've got this nice 1050 Vario. Love that thing. Got this guy. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with him. I had a couple ideas, but then I changed my mind. We're going to try and just go straight from this pump, this water pump, and this thing here to do a direct, direct hose from here to our implement out in the field. Because our storage tank right there is quite full. As you can see, we're sitting at over 567,000 worth of liters of slurry or digestate, and it's still climbing because this thing's churning away. Wow, I made a mess of a few things there, but we'll keep moving on here. So I've got a couple vultures over here and some birds apparently. We're going to fire this guy up, and we're going to see if we can't get this field fertilized. I was having some problems last time with the hose disconnecting from my pump. I was using this guy down here, and it was disconnecting from it. So apparently I was stretching the line too much. I didn't look like I was stretching the line, but apparently I was, so I'm going to try and avoid that this time. As far as which one of these to use, Looks like this guy is kind of an all-in-one. I think we need to add the, I'm not sure what that's called, the extension bar thing to that one. And probably to that one as well, huh? Actually, it looks like you have to add them to all three of those. So if we look at these things real quick. So this one here has the hose connector. What is the right term for that thing? Where is that thing? That thing's nice too. This guy here, right? So this is the HS 5100 hose connection dealio. And I'm assuming you need that with some of these. It looks like you do. This one, it looks like you don't, but I think isn't this the one that also does, one of these does, what do I want to say? Cultivating as well. Suitable for day. And this one has a cultivator to prepare fields as well. So I don't know if you can keep the cultivator lifted so you don't have to cultivate with that one. I'm not entirely sure. This one says that it distributes, can be attached to a suitable slurry tank. Configured as umbilical ejector, you can attach directly to a tractor, connect via a hose to an umbilical pump. So let's just try the little guy. But we need to get our reel and get some hose connected and spread out, and that taken care of first before we can do anything else. Let's just grab maybe this guy here. And I'm not entirely sure how much. Does this say how much is on here? Doesn't give a length, does it? It tells you mass, but it doesn't give you a length. So just looking at them, these all look to be the same length, but I'm not sure if they're 500s or what they are. So let's do this real quick. Go to the old that guy there, and let's just buy one 500. So we're just going to get the longest we can possibly get. We'll do yellow. 1.3 tons. So I'm assuming these are 100s, maybe 200s. Tough to say. But let's go grab. Turn down my headphone volume there. It was pretty loud. All right, so we can start by, as you can see now, I still have not done a great deal of pumps and hoses. I plan on it for sure. R. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I'll grab that shirt. Why not? If the reel will take it. I think that was a 100, I think. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it was. Perfect. All right, so what we want to do is we do want to lay down some hose here. So we want to we don't want to unload it. We want to change to unwinding. Please move for unwinding. Well, I will definitely do that. All right. Now, I have no idea. But we are going to try and just get this thing. And I know we're going to run out here very soon on that one. There we go. And then I think we want to continue to unwind. Yeah, that'll work. Let's not hit our other tractor. So that was 100. I think it said 100, and this one's the 500. So we're just gonna get this thing unwound. I kind of wish I had more of a... I guess you kind of have to pre-plan this out, don't you? So you have to know what corner you're gonna start at. And where you're gonna go from there. We're just gonna keep, I probably shouldn't have wrapped it around the tree like that now that I'm thinking about it. But I feel like I'm gonna be one of those people who's gonna lay out like way more hose than you need. Or I'm going to not lay out enough hose and it'll constantly be disconnecting on me. So we'll see how this goes. Still unwinding. Alright, so what do we have here? We've got all the way around there. Let's head over to where our hose is at, because I think I can grab some more of what we bought. We could just buy another 500, probably be the easiest thing to do. Let's try that. We'll buy another 500 orange this time. How much are these each? So that's like almost 10,000 bucks every time you pick up. Interesting. And let's grab you. And can I grab you? So there's another 600. So we've laid down. I think my biggest issue is laying down the hose properly. Like knowing the layout of what to do. Like I've seen people doing it up and down the field. I don't know. It's just weird to me. So we are going to check and see. So start unwinding. We're still in unwinding mode. And I honestly have no idea where I am starting and stopping and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and we will unwind a little bit this way. This one's not going to take long to spool out, I don't think, because I think this might not have been 100. I don't know what this one was actually, now that I think about it. Looks like it was more than 100 though. Maybe I bought 3, I don't know, 300 or 400 maybe. But yeah, this seems so excessive. So excessive. And I'm gonna be running over this thing left and right. Alright, so we're gonna lay that thing down. And then I am going to hit Y again. And this is the 500 we just bought. So I know we've got quite a bit of hose here to unwind, but my plan is, I guess, to just start wherever this thing, whatever corner we're closest to. Maybe I need to watch more people use pumps and hoses, or use the hoses to see how the hoses kind of move, because from what I could see in the few videos I've watched, they don't drag like you would expect. They kind of, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. They kind of shift, or kind of, I don't know, it's weird. But I'm always super fascinated by the winding and unwinding. Like, I think this alone right here was worth the price of admission, at least for me. But then I get excited about simple things sometimes too. So we're gonna try and start on this corner right here, because it looks like we're getting close. Wrap it around that. Wrap it around the farmyard. Okay. Now, if that is not enough hose, I guess I don't know, excuse me, what to say about that. So, inside view, let's pick up our injector. I think it's this one. Didn't line that up extremely well. Alright, so yes, it is that one. And we head over here. And the plan, as you can see, good or bad, is to start in this corner. Now I'm going to grab our hose and bring it over here. Yeah, let's see here. So we can unfold. It's kind of a little guy, isn't it? Okay. So let's grab this thing. We're gonna have to make some connections, I guess. But this thing has to come over here. I'll set it down there. Yeah, it's close enough. Okay. So I should be able to left shift Q that bad boy. And then connect that. And I'm pretty sure, boy, I'm pretty sure I have at least two more, right? Because we had a short one. You know what we can do here? Like I said, easy dev controls come in handy. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna grab you, bring you over here, connect you. I think that one's good, but I think I had a blue one. You need to go there. I will connect you in a minute. In a momento. Let's try. Whoa, 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 whoa. Drag you closer. Perfect. So there's that one. Didn't I have a blue hose, like 100-meter blue hose to start with, or am I thinking of a different time and place here? I guess we could try it. It'll tell me. You're connected. All right. I thought I did, but maybe I didn't. All right. Let's hop in this. Connect you. Right. So it's connected to our pump. Nice kink in the line there. I hope that goes away. Never like to see that at a gas station, by the way, when you're pumping gas. This thing here, I think I get inside of it, and do I activate pump with B? So we get some water. Ooh. I'm looking at our money going down the tubes there. That's interesting. Going here. That's connected. Activate pump. And I think that's right. Pump is activated. Water is filling up. What's that? Oh, that's right, because it doesn't store digestate or slurry. That's right. It just pumps it. Okay, so pump is running. Hose is connected. Water is supplying our pump there with water. Money is going down. All the hose connections should be in place. Well, maybe. Then this guy here, fold umbilical, lower umbilical, da-da-da, lower U. Am I spreading? I am spreading. That's a weird thing to say. But we are spreading manure. Apparently I did something right. Now the next interesting thing is going to be... Man, I should have plenty of hose. I can't imagine not having enough hose for this job. I think I put down, well, two 500s, there's 1,000, plus the mystery one, which I think might have been a 300. I think I put down darn near 1,500, 1,500 meters of hose, I think. All right, so what do we do here? V to lift, headland mode, I think. And we'll do a little flip. I feel like I have to be careful, you know, like, like, ooh, you know, don't turn so sharp. That hose is going to get kinked. But so far, so good. I'm actually kind of happy with the results, except for this right here. See, this is where I need to start figuring out how to plan this better, because in the real world, this would not be good. The fact that I'm missing some, but also the fact that I'm going to be running over. Well, that's interesting that our money slowed way down because it must have filled. Okay, cool. Yeah, so the initial money that was counting down pretty fast was filling the water tank, and it slowed down quite a bit since. Now, let's say I get out here. I can't move this thing, can I? It has to be at a joint. That's the only way you can move it, is where it's connected, is, I'm assuming. Which wouldn't make any sense to do now, unless I guess you could. What? Yeah, it's not going to work, is it? So, let me turn. Oh, it is off. Okay, so it's off. Lifted. Left shift Q to disconnect? Are you disconnected? Okay, you are. I'd like to flip it over the tractor, if I'm being honest. So what if I bring this... See, it's not... I don't think it's moving the hose the way I think it should be moving the hose. Like, I want this part of it here to come around the tractor, but it's not doing that. It's actually... I think it's actually dragging the hose from way down here. Or it's dragging the hose from down here. Or somewhere. It's not... You see where I'm going with that? Right? Like in real life, if I grab this hose and pulled on it, it's going to bring that loop right there down. But the game doesn't do that. And that's the part I think that, excuse me, is what I kind of want to figure out how this hose is treated like that, because see, it should be dragging that hose. Where's it dragging it from? This looks the same. That's weird to me. I don't know. Am I losing my mind here? I don't think so. You all see what I'm saying, so yeah. Now I've just got more hose to run over. Let's see here. It did do something. Well, it did do something here. Wow, I've got hose like... This is hardcore. Because it did bring that around and under the tractor. I don't know. I don't get it. Do you all see what I'm saying, though, as far as, like... And I feel like... What's wrong? Oh, did I turn the pump off? Oh, it probably shut off because I disconnected. And I feel like, at least for me, that is the key to how to lay out the hose, is knowing how it drags. And see, it does seem to be pulling it. It does seem to be pulling it kind of the way I would expect down there right now. It's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. But there is something, like I say, there is something greatly satisfying about using this mod, or this DLC. I really have grown to like it a lot more than I did originally. I mean, I've always liked it, but I've really gotten to like it a lot more in just the time I've used it. I need to figure out, see, yeah, that's not good. I need to figure out this, this hose situation. I'm tempted. You know what we should do? Got an idea. Let's do this. Let's disconnect you. Actually, I guess it doesn't really matter. Let's fold you up. And we are going to drive over here. And we're going to disconnect this hose here. I don't know why, I really like this tool. It makes me laugh whenever it... I don't know why. It makes me smile when I see boop, boop. All right, yeah. I shouldn't be admitting these things on video. All right, let's connect our orange hose up. I want to make sure I don't nab. No. No. How do I grab? There we go. That's what I wanted. And I want to grab, why aren't you, oh, I need to select it. Okay. So left shift Q. And I have a feeling it's still on unwind. Set to, let's see, unfold umbilical, lower, change to winding, and wide wind. And we can just drag. Now this actually kind of helps us see how the hose. So when I'm dragging it, it actually looks like it's dragging it pretty normally, right? Because it's dragging it from that end, that far end right now. This stuff isn't moving yet, I don't think, is it? Oh, yep, there. Okay, I just saw that moving. Let's see, that end right there is, yeah, that end, see that end starting to move. And I would not expect this end down here to move. Can I get out of the tractor while it's doing this? I would not expect this end to move yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm expecting this end to move, and then as it comes down here, this will be the last part to move. And I know it's a game, and I know it's Farming Simulator. I totally get that. I'm not trying to be critical of the DLC at all. I'm just trying to get to a point where I understand how this hose, works, so that when I lay it out, I don't have to lay out 1,500 meters of hose, so I can guarantee myself it's not going to come disconnected from the pump. Oh, I really like this. I really like this DLC, though. Look at it just yanking that bad boy. It's got to be a lot of weight there, right? I mean, I didn't clean that hose out, so there's got to be a lot of liquid funds still in there, would be my guess. Okay, so we got that done. So now what we can do, what I was thinking of doing, was grabbing this bad boy and glitching. Nope, don't walk that way. We're gonna drag it over. Where did we? Just don't pay attention to that glitchy down there in the corner. I think we're way up here, aren't we? Where we stopped? No, don't. I think it's way up here. So we're gonna drag this hose up here, because this is kind of where we need to get to. And we are going to unfold our buddy here. Now that's 500. That's a 500 meter roll right there. Let me switch it to the back implement so we can see connection there. All right, so it's connected. Actually, let me back it up just a little bit more. Then we need to go over and start our pump again because... Oh, no, don't turn off on me. All right, so pump is going, so I didn't lose any connections, which is good. We can lower you. And we should still be spreading, which we are. I gotta stop saying that. Yeah, injecting. That's what I should be saying. All right, so we're still injecting slurry, no disconnects. Maybe I just, I am more than willing to take responsibility for poor hose management and poor hose layout. There is no question about that. And maybe that's what I did last time, was just use poor hose judgment. And maybe that's why it didn't go so well for me. Because this has been working pretty much. Yeah, can't complain at all about this, that's for sure. And I would say I probably have so I know I have a 500. I might be down to almost maybe 1,000 meters of hose, maybe. And I know that that hose that I strung all the way from the pump. I'm not trying to be too picky, by the way, about how this is going down on the field. So This is kind of just for plays. But, ooh, did I just... What did I just do? Oh, maybe I didn't do anything. Okay. You know what? I just thought of this. And this is probably... This may not mean anything to you if you're watching, but... Excuse me, I had to clear my throat there. We're on Hagenstadt. And this is a map that I played back on the Xbox 360, so almost, what, 10 years ago. And who would have thought, I would have never thought 10 years ago that this is what I'd be doing on Hagenstadt and Farming Simulator at all. Like, not just graphic speaking, like how nice things look in here, but the ability to use hoses the way we are. I mean, that's something else. The game has come a long ways. I mean, I'm picturing in my mind right now these fields, because those two fields over there, I think, are your starter fields, if I remember correctly. At least one of them, maybe both of them. I kind of forget what starter fields there were, but I think that's what you started with. And I can still picture in my mind, I think you started with that old FAR, F-A-H-R, combine, if I remember correctly. It was the FAR. It might have been it was something like that. And just thinking about how how far this game has come absolutely boggles my mind. And if you would have said to me, oh yeah, you know, I mean, in 10 years time you'll be working these same fields with tractors that look like this, interiors that look like this, sound that sounds like this, and then hoses like this, I would have just thought, yeah, that's crazy. I would have told you I can't wait. Give me a pre-copy, right? Give me an advanced copy right now. Oh man, I'm trying to think of even the hardware I ran. Now I know initially it was the Xbox 360, but I'm trying to remember my first gaming PC, what the hardware was back then. And I think my first gaming PC, I'm about 99% sure that it was an AMD, because at the time, and depending on your point of view, it still is, but it's become, I would say, arguably not as significant as it used to be. But 8 years ago, 9 years ago, bang for your buck with AMD was significant, more significant than it is today, for sure. And I built an AMD. I can't remember what the model of the AMD was. It was like I wish I could remember. I'll have to look it up. But I know it was an AMD system, and I honestly can't even remember the graphics card. I think it was it was an NVIDIA, because I think I've always run, with all my gaming PCs, except for one, I have always run AMD and NVIDIA. And the one time I'm thinking of that was different was Intel and NVIDIA. I've never run AMD graphics cards, just hasn't been my thing. I have bought one, and I've installed it and played with it for somebody else, and I thought it did a great job. You know, I don't certainly don't have anything against NVIDIA or AMD graphics cards, but I've just been an NVIDIA person. And The Intel CPU I remember was an i5, boy, i5 5900 maybe? It wasn't the greatest gaming CPU, but it wasn't very expensive at the time, and it got the job done. I think though, on that first gaming PC, I think I had an NVIDIA, was it a 960, 980, something like that. It was not, it was it was the before they got into the 4 numeral stuff. So I think it was a 980. Were they GTs or GTXs even back then? But I'll have to look and see. I keep my I keep manuals and receipts forever, and I'm one of those people that does that. And especially now that you can do it all electronically, I keep that stuff for a long, long time. But I should have probably been paying a little bit closer attention to our money. I don't see our money going down right now, and I would have thought it would with the water we're using. Oh, did I wonder if the water pump stopped when that thing stopped. Yeah, it did. Activate water pump. Okay. Let's activate the water pump. So that's kind of nice, though. The water pump automatically stops if that stops. I'm assuming that's what happened, at least. Fortunately, that thing has a water tank in it, so it wasn't like we were running without water. And my understanding is all that water does in these situations is just makes your hoses clog less and more efficient, so that you don't have to spend the money on or spend the time on cleaning out your hoses as much if you're running water along with the slurry. At least that's my understanding on that. And speaking of, how much is... Wow, $30,000 for that bad boy. Ooh, doggies. Now I think the pump over there that we're using... Oh no, I was thinking of something else. This thing here... So you got that, but I think you can add a compressor to this, right? So I'm assuming that compressor right there is used for cleaning out your hoses. I'm assuming that's what I don't know what else it would be used for. But 30 grand for that little air compressor? Ooh. That's not cheap. Well, this is gone. Well, I think the only thing I need to take away from this is better hose placement. Obviously, I should have gone the other way. I still need to work on figuring out how much hose I'll need and how best to place it. Otherwise, I think overall it's been pretty smooth. And that's a huge credit to the modders for for making something that even I can figure out. And especially that biogas plant stuff. When I first saw that, it kind of made me think, ooh, that's getting a little complicated. But even that was easy. So, huge kudos to the modders for how well they've done with implementing this. I really think a lot of thought went into this, and probably a lot of trial and error would be my guess too. And it would have been interesting to see the different stages of this DLC that it went through. and see what changes were made along the way and how things progressed and evolved over the life of its creation. I've also always wondered, like, so Farming Simulator came out, it'll be a year, right, in November? And Pumps and Hoses came out last month. So did the modders have... I'm assuming there must have been a lot they could do before having, you know, the final version of FS22 available to them, and then maybe just being able to bring over textures and stuff. Maybe that's how that works, because I can't imagine that creating this DLC, it had to have been a lengthy process. Well, that is, wow, that worked out pretty well. I mean, I'm impressed with how easy it was to get that whole, you know, this whole thing set up and working, and I really like this idea of being able to run the injector directly from your storage tanks. I think this is really a great way to go, so that you don't have to be hauling, if you can do it, you know, if it's available close enough. It seems like one of the better ways to do it. Let's go ahead and disconnect you, and we can fold you up. Let's run over here. We could turn you off. And I'm assuming the water pump then has stopped as well. Yep, good deal. Now, my understanding is you leave that connected. Oh, I don't have a compressor, do I? Okay. Let's do this. Just out of curiosity. Let's run this over. Drop it off. And let's pick up, do I still have my... Maybe I sold it. Let's see here. I don't think I have my air compressor anymore. You're not my air compressor. No, we need to buy another air compressor, it looks like. Alright. Let's go ahead and just, whoops, jump. Might as well jump. Alright, let's pick up this air compressor. And let's check our hoses and see what overall, how... I'm assuming there shouldn't be a lot of clogs. I would think, just because we were running water through them the whole time, so I'm gonna assume they're fairly clean. So I think we need to come over here, unfold. Oh, I'm sorry. There you go. As I'm apologizing to the to the tractor and the equipment. And then we can connect that again, so we're connected. And activate, let's see, higher, fold, umbilical, lower compressor. Okay, there we go. So yeah, it says umbilical hose clogged by 0%. But if we go ahead and hit X, not enough pressure. Please turn on, what compressor? Oh, okay. I didn't know that was a thing. That's kind of cool. I had no idea that was a thing. Does this thing actually have a gauge on it that shows? I like the fact that it's got I like the fact that it's got those lights. Turn signals? Hazards? So I think it's finished filling. Just looking to see if there's a... Oh, there is a gauge right there. Yeah. Nice. Alright, let's blow out this hose. There we go. Wow, that was kind of anticlimactic. Now does it show... Yeah, the gauge did go down more, so if we turn on... Yeah, she certainly is going up. Absolutely. That's so cool. I like that. Nice touch by Giants there for sure. Or by the mod authors. Is it Creative Mesh? And that's it. That's kind of all I wanted to do today with playing around with pumps and hoses, was do another field, check out a different way of doing it. I like this setup here, and in fact this would definitely be the setup I would go for if I don't have to drag hoses all the way across the field. It actually might be worth putting up another storage tank someplace else and just keeping that storage tank topped off. I guess even if you had to put a storage tank, you know, like, where are we at? We're here. Probably be worth, even if we were down here, to maybe just put a storage tank someplace down here and just truck some liquid over. It might even be worth doing that, and just maybe set up a job, get that taken care of, and keep the tank full. That way you don't have to be, I don't know, just an option, but a very cool option indeed. But thank you all for joining me once again. I know it was a pretty casual way of playing pumps and hoses. I just kind of wanted to get a, you know, every time I play it, I feel like I get a little bit better feel for how things operate, things work. But yeah, a lot of fun though. Regardless, it is it's a DLC that I have definitely learned to like more and more the more I play it, for sure. But thanks everyone for joining me here on Hagenstedt once again. And I will see you guys soon at either Buchern or Kubota Farms. You all take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you soon.